Damn, this cheese is good. Oh. Oh, I'm live. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hello everybody. Welcome back to more Rising Phoenix Racing League. This is round 6 of season 5? 5? In the F1 division. And, yeah, I am your commentator, Nico Rosberg, 27, aka Ryan. And, yeah, welcome to Budapest, Hungary, for round number 6. So 15 drivers today, so decent turnout. It was actually a little bit higher than what I was expecting, based off of what I was told. I was told that we were only going to have maybe 11 or 12, so, I mean, 15 is obviously better than 12 or 11, so, yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay. Let me get my water here to get all prepared. And alright, here we go. So yeah, 18-minute quality, obviously, 50% race. You know, the standard stuff. And, one sec, let me just do this. There we go. Okay, so yeah, basically, yeah, this is drive quality today. And first driver out is gonna be Cobalt. So let's watch him. Okay. So yeah, just following the racing point of Cobalt around the track. It's one of the shorter tracks on the calendar. It was, I think the first race was 1986. So this is the 35th event. Okay. Okay. Alright, there we go. Sorry, just had to tinker with some stuff. But yeah, so yeah, on board with Cobalt now, as he comes around the twisty second sector. And the first time set is a 14.937, of course by Cobalt, as Swanee begins his lap, and TJ goes P2 with a 15.1. as Jacob has retired from the session, I believe on his first attempt of a hot lap. So we have Flex Marcel attempting a second run after his first one was invalidated. Collins with a 16.8. All three time setters all on the softs so far. An 18.0 for Colin on the mediums. Super Guy goes pole with a 14.1. Ooh, and another invalidation. Ooh, and a big crash for Flex Marcel there. Coming out of turn, or going into turn 5. Really unfortunate stuff. He's going to have to obviously come back in to the pits and fit some new tires as well. Now, I believe for qualifying, you only get one pair of mediums, so that is essentially his attempt at the mediums done, because he's going to be doing an outlap plus 2 laps now on those, plus the spin. So I mean, it's going to be very risky to put those on, so the race on those, at least I would assume. As here we have Swanee, who's just completed a lap in the Ferrari with an 18.8 on the mediums. Ooh, and crashing McReckless has just had an accident. Not sure what happened, but they are missing some front wing, I believe. As Anton behind them on an outlap. As here we have Bazooka Joe coming through the first sector split here. It's a 26.5. The game says it's purple, but that might be true. It might not be. Was that Crashy who has crashed into the pit lane there? Really unfortunate stuff on that lap for the Racing Point driver. As Bazooka Joe up to the line goes P3 with a 15.0. Let's see, now we have Anton on a lap, a 26.4 in the first sector. But ooh, a spin at turn number 6 puts that lap to an unfortunate end. So I believe next up, Colin has done 3 laps on the mediums so far, so that's very interesting. Next up we have Cobalt again coming out. He'll be the next one to start a lap. So let's watch him. Okay. Oh, as Anton Bennett does choose to complete that last lap, and obviously goes last P8 at the moment with a 26.7, but of course that is not representative because of the spin. Very close to the curbs there for Cobalt, chasing down that pole position. Now the gap is pretty big, but you never really know what's going to happen, so we're going to have to wait and see, as that is, I believe, Anton getting out of the way. Or that's Swanee getting out of the way. One of the Ferraris. As Cobalt is 0.2 up on his time in the second sector. Or, at the second sector split, rather. So he just has one more to go. Let's see if he'll improve or lose time on that. And he goes, he does improve by about 2/10, I believe, and goes or stays P2. And with a 14.677. So next up is F1 Buttons back, who's on a lap. Actually, no. Next up will be Flex Marcel here. And it's P2 for Flex Marcel. Very, very close to Super Guy. Only less than a third of a tenth off. As Button goes P3 with a 14.5. So next up will be, well, Crashy unfortunately has an invalid lap. So it will be Hyper, so let's watch him. As Jordan has joined, which is always good. Oh, and he's coming into the pits. Oh, but he misses the pits and hits into the barrier. Oh no. And that is some very, very green stuff there. I don't ever recall seeing the stuff being that green. The runoff area little thing. Like the little padding on the road. For the curb. Entering the pit lane. Alright, so Crashy is going for another lap. So let's see what he can do. Let's go on board with him for this whole lap here. Ooh, and an invalidation at the exit of turn 1. Really unfortunate for the Racing Point. He's going to have to come back into the pits, certainly, because those softs will be definitely too worn to do a qualifying lap on after this lap. Let's see, Swanee's coming into the pits, but Super Guy's on a lap here. He's a 10th up in the first sector in the new updated McLaren with the rainbow colors on it now. Looks very nice. I love the sounds as well. The new well, compared to 2019, the sounds are very nice. Purple second sector as well for the McLaren. Coming through the final corner now. As everyone says E in the chat. Super Guy goes pole, or extends his lead rather, to around 6/10 with a 13.5. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. As Hyper's on an outlap and Racing Maestros as well. As Jordan is on a hot lap, but has had an incident somewhere because his lap time is over 2 minutes long. And he's going to be going again. So let's see what he can do here. Let's go on board for the whole lap. purple second sector for Jordan, at least according to the game. He does seem to be going pretty quickly though. A little bit wide though at the final corner. Up to the line, it's going to be a 15.2 to put him P7 out of 11 people who have set laps. Next up we have Racing Maestro. Well, next person to the line is Collins. So let's actually look at what he's doing. He's a second up on his time. So that's pretty good. Coming up to the line on the soft tires and doing a 15.7. Closing the gap by 1.084 seconds. Racing Maestro crosses the line, goes P9. Crashing McReckless starts the lap. Hyper with a 15.6. As here we are with Robo Geezer. Coming around the final corner. Ooh, as both Racing Points have had incidents there. As Robo Geezer goes P10 with a 15.9. And it's another invalid lap, unfortunately, and a lap with potentially a spin or something. I saw both of the Racing Points slow down a lot, so I'm not really sure what happened, but yeah, really unfortunate qualifying for Crashy today. He will be starting last place, I believe. As Anton is on an out lap here, obviously wanting to be higher than P14. As everyone is coming out of the pits now to start their final laps. Oh, and Cobalt's actually on a lap, so let's watch him here. 2/10 up for the moment. Oh no, I think he. Oh yeah, he is on a lap. Well, actually no, he's not. This might be a cooldown lap or something, or maybe an in lap. Yeah, I believe this is an in lap. As Collins has retired from the session in the pits, and Anton is starting his lap here. So let's watch. As Crashy is going out for one more attempt. So Crashy might not start last here if he can go quicker than the people at or closer to the bottom of the timetable or timesheets. But the times will definitely improve, I would assume, from Colin and Swanee and Anton. So we will see. Racing Maestro and Robo obviously not going to be able to set times again, so they will stay where they are. Or drop further down. Was Crashy goes P11 with a 16.2 on 2 lap old softs. Anton Bennett currently 11 seconds up on his time. Obviously doing much better this lap than on his first attempt, as Robo Geezer retires from the session as well. Just around 20 seconds left now, according to my my chart here. And Anton goes P3 with a 14.004. Very nice. Next up is going to be Button, who is 10 seconds down on his time, but he's going to cross the line anyway to finish off the session. And he actually crosses it just before the flag comes out. So yeah, so first person, oh, Super Guy with a 13.3. As Flex Marcel has improved his time to a 13.8. And yeah, Super Guy is going to be comfortably on pole, I would assume, as Anton is on an in lap. Oh, and Button spins. Spins 360 and hits it right into the wall and DNFs from the session. What has happened there? I just cut back to him and he was spinning. I'm not too sure. Probably got on the curb at turn 5. But yeah, very unfortunate stuff. As Jordan crosses the line, does improve. But it was an invalid lap, so unfortunately it will not count. And yeah, that is it for qualifying. Excuse me, yawning. As everyone is now retiring from the session, obviously, because it's over, so yeah. Yeah, everyone please retire from the session if you are watching. And you're driving, please retire. Because it saves us about a minute at this point. Or it would. But yeah. That's okay though, we can wait. Oh no, actually all we're waiting on is Racing Maestro. So hopefully he can retire and then we will be good to go. So yeah, Super Guy on pole with a 13-3. Then it's Flex Moselle, Anton Bennett, Buttons Back, Bazooka Joe, Cobalt, TJ, Jordan, Hyper, Collins, Robo, Colin 219, Crashy, Racing Maestro, Swanee, and Jacob 22. So yeah, let me actually check to see if there's any penalties. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so there's now a pit stop graphic. That's pretty cool. No grid penalties. But yeah, it says that Cobalt there did a front wing change. Very interesting. All right, so yep, I already said the order, but yeah, here it is. Here it is again. Nearly half a second from P1 to P2, and then yeah. So here you can see all the different strategies they used for qualifying. Top 10 in quality. Let's go, says Hyper. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let's get into the formation lap and get this race started. It'll be 35 laps, and we are underway. Now, actually, I will be right back. I have to go to the washroom really quickly, so I will hurry up and go as fast as I can. But yeah, I'll leave you with I will leave you with Swanee. Be back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back just in time. Hope you enjoyed that that slow lap with Swanee, the formation lap with Swanee. As Super Guys already lined up on the grid, as have the first couple cars, and they've already been stopped for quite a while now. So hot engines, cold brakes, cold tires. Let's get all the things on, including position change for the start of the race for the first couple laps. Here we go, 5 red lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix in Rising Phoenix Season 5 in the F1 division is away. And the stuff is glitched again, I think. But yeah, okay, yeah, and apparently everyone is ghosting, so this is very interesting. I'm not sure what's going on, but apparently ghosting might be on. Oh, someone's crashed. That's Button, who has had an accident at the back and has spun. But yeah, I think ghosting might be on. I'm not sure if this is just a glitch on my end, but yeah. So yeah, it says Anton's leading, which he is. So yeah, that's actually true. But yeah, very interesting. Not really sure what's going on with the ghosting, but yeah, they're all away. Oh, and we have another incident. That's Jacob, who has had a spin at turn 6. As everyone comes on through this twisty second sector. Anton Bennett leads. Flex Marcel P2. Super Guy with a unfortunate start, down 2 positions, but he definitely has the pace to get those positions back. As Button's out of the race in the second sector, DNF. Really unfortunate day for him. And the safety car has been deployed, the full safety car. So let's see what happens with people if they decide to pit or not. Someone is pitting, that's Hyper. He might have damage, or he might be trying to go onto the hards to go to the end. Someone else is pitting as well, that is Bazooka Joe. Let's see what he does. Bazooka Joe is going onto the mediums, very interesting. As Hyper is getting a wing change. And there's a Ferrari going onto the... That is Swanee going onto the hards behind Hyper, now in front of Hyper. So yeah, those are the 3 pit stops. So yeah, yeah, Anton with a good start. It was 3 wide at the start. I kind of got distracted by the ghosting and what was going on with that. But yeah, it was 3 wide at the start for the first couple of rows of cars, and then yeah, Anton managed to get through. Excuse me. Anton managed to get through. Flex Marcel P2, Super Guy P3, Cobalt up 2 positions in P4, TJ up 2 positions in P5, Collins with a really good start, Racing Maestro with the best start, and Bazooka Joe with the worst start, aside from Button, who DNF'd. So yeah, very interesting stuff indeed. 34 laps to go. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the safety car will be coming in on the next lap, I believe. So, yeah. So yeah, not really sure what to say, but yeah, as you can see in the middle of the pack there, a lot of green on the position changes. So yeah, up 2, up 2, up 2, up 4, 6, 3, 6. Swanee up 3. Anton, obviously, as I said a couple times before, up 2. Probably the most, the best start overall would definitely have to be Anton, because despite Maestro being up 6 and Jacob being up 6. You know, they're still in P8 and P10 compared to P1, so well, obviously everyone would want to be Anton at the moment. So, but yeah, everyone has to start somewhere though. So like, I'm not knocking any driver because everyone obviously from where they qualified. Like, you can't expect someone to jump 10 positions in one lap magically. So it's not like, you know, no judgment at all, because I'm sure that these guys are much better drivers than I could ever be. So, and I wouldn't judge anyway. So, yeah, here we go. Anton swerving, getting ready for the restart, waiting for the safety car to peel into the pits. Everyone eagerly waiting. Oh, a bump there at the back between Crashy and Collins. Crashy with a penalty there for that, as everyone is getting ready to go, and they are off. Oh, TJ weaving a little bit too late. They're getting caught out. Might be under pressure from Jordan now. Let's watch. Now TJ has a much better exit off that last corner. But Anton leads from Flex Marcel, from Super Guy, from Cobalt, from TJ. Now let's see what happens. Racing Maestro and Robo Geezer side by side. Racing Maestro up. Oh, appears to have gone past. Yes, he has. Back here, Colin, Bazooka Joe, and Jacob battling. Ooh, is this an incident? It's Collins. Collins has had an incident. And he's going again, but unfortunately he is way down the field and has probably has some damage, I would assume. Yes, he does, on the right hand side, as you can clearly see. A lot of wing missing there. Flex Marcel with a time penalty for corner cutting. Ooh, Crashy almost having a crash there, or a little half spin off of turn 6. Anton Bennett with the fastest lap of an 18.5. As Bazooka Joe is now gaining on Colin by quite a bit. Overtake versus no overtake here for the Renault versus the Mercedes. And Bazooka Joe is passed for P10. Oh, and someone has spun. Oh, and Colin's retired from the session. I believe that's in the pits. Never mind. No one spun. I thought Colin had spun there. And you have a virtual safety car for the, I'm assuming that's Collins retiring. But yeah, I thought Colin 219 had a spin there. I saw him get loose, and then I saw the yellow flag, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, Crashy with a penalty. Collins leaves the session in probably in frustration and you know, just disappointment of the result. As we're about to get going again for the safety car virtual restart. And here we go. Starting the 6th lap of 35. Safety cars in, DRS has been enabled. On board with Cobalt here in P4, trying to chase down Super Guy. Let's see the tires now. So the top 6 all on the softs. The next 5 are on mediums, then the next 2 on hards, and then you have Crashy, who's on the mediums, as well as the other 5 to do so. So yeah, like the soft runners will have to make a stop to the hards, I would assume, if they want to make this a 1 stop. If they're going for a 2 stop, then it would probably be soft medium, I would assume. But we will see what they choose to do. You know, plus safety cars coming out, stuff like that. Anything could really happen at any moment. So you always have to be thinking about the what ifs in these scenarios. Especially if you can't jump a car in front of you, but you're pulling away from a car behind you. You have you're kind of stuck in nowhere, and you have to take risks to either stay ahead or get in front of someone else who's ahead of you. As Anton has left the session, I believe he's had disconnection, so I will actually invite him right now. I believe I should probably do that, yeah. Let me just re-invite him really quickly. Okay, invite has been sent. But yeah, Anton with the disconnection, he's losing positions. All his hard work at the start is being undone now in a very unfortunate series of events for the Ferrari driver. As Flex Marcel now leads the race from Super Guy, who's close behind. And so we have Jordan really close to TJ for P5, who's also trying to chase down Cobalt. As TJ comes into the pits, and Anton has not come back yet, so it's really concerning. Oh, as he just has now. So he is now in P2 because of the pit. And oh, he completely misses the braking point and smacks into the wall. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's lost a lot of positions now. And he might have damage even. No, he doesn't. No damage. But I'm not sure what happened there, but he's just lost a lot of positions. And it has gone from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver. A really promising start has turned into nothing short of, well, almost a disaster at the moment. But he's still in P5, he can still make up positions, so it's not over. Just because it's bad at the moment does not mean it will stay this way, so let's hope he can claw his way back up the field. Looking further down the field, we have the battle for P9 here. The battle for P10, and then you have Hyper a little bit too far in front for Colin to really do much at the moment. Looking back from Hyper's Red Bull. Now back from Colin's Mercedes. As a bunch of cars are pitting, including Anton, who now has no name on my screen. And yeah, basically every soft runner is now pitting. So, yep, a lot of order changes. So let's see where they come out. Let's actually look at the pits here to see. Ooh, as Jacob, and ooh, that's Robo Geezer, who has spun and has lost a couple positions on those mediums at turn 3. As Bazooka and Jacob were fighting. I was about to comment on that, but then the spin happened. Ooh, as we have another incident back here. We have a lot of cars really close to each other, really going at it here. Super Guy versus TJ into turn 5. Super Guy with a penalty for a slight corner cut there, I believe. But he does get the move done on TJ. Now he's trying to chase down Cobalt. Both of them on fresh hards. Cobalt with the track position. Let's actually jump back to Jordan here. As we do have another battle further up the order, I can see. So I'm gonna go with this grid for now, or this this battle for now, up the grid. Very nice overtake there by Flex Marcel on Crashy. Now let's jump back to this battle here. Ooh! Big slide from TJ. Contact between Super and Cobalt. Side by side. Ooh, more contact. and now has sent Cobalt into a half spin and into the barrier, and he's been collected, or and someone else has hit him as well. Jordan has hit him as well, and that has really affected both of their races. As a penalty for Swanee for corner cutting, or multiple warnings rather. As here's the battle for P6, Flex Marcel getting past Colin. And here's the battle for P4. Robo Geezer trying to close down on Hyper. Oh, yellow flag, not sure what for, but it's cleared up now. So, lap 11 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Oh, as Marcel repasses Robo there. I think Robo might have some wing damage or something. I believe he does on his left hand side there. Yeah, he does. He has no end plate. So yeah, that's going to affect him a lot, of course. Oh, Robo for, with another penalty there. As Anton is trying to chase down TJ, getting the, sliding the back end of the car there a lot. As he tries to apply the power. Ooh, going wide, Anton. Still keeping up with the cars in front though. As now Swanee is under much threat from TJ, and TJ with an amazing dive bomb there, and he gets past up into P9. As now the two Ferraris are fighting for P10 here. Oh, and there's contact between the two. More contact. More contact. Oh! And I believe, I'm not sure if that was accurate or not on my screen, but on the stream it appears Anton just pushed Swanee completely out of the way there. And Anton has retired from the session. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Anton is out of the session. So what started with the perfect start has turned into a disaster for the Ferrari driver and for the team, as one of their cars is now out, and the other one is in P10 at the moment, when I believe he started much higher than that. Let me check. Oh no, he didn't actually, no. Okay. So Swanee has made up 5 positions, so it is, I guess, good in that regard. But still only 1 point for the Ferrari team at the moment. Very, very unfortunate for them. But Swanee obviously will keep trying to do his very best. So let's hope he can get some more points. On to the battle for P6 now, as we have the McLarens and the Mercedes. And both the McLarens are passed, as one of the McLarens pits. That's the Robo pitting. Super is past Colin. Now I have a feeling, knowing Colin, I have a feeling, oh, as there's an incident there. It is no, it's Crashy. I think it was Crashy who has a slight incident there. Slow down for a couple seconds. But yeah, as I was saying before, knowing Colin and his habit to extend his tires really long into the race, I'm pretty sure he's going to try to take these to the end. But I mean, 34 laps on the hards just aren't going to be possible. I do not believe for a second that that's going to be possible. So we will see. Hey, maybe Colin can pull off something magical. But until then, we will have to just wait and see. As Jordan, Super Guy gets past Hyper for P5. So yeah, he is making his way back up the field. Now 3 cars still have to stop. Plus I'm not sure if Flex is going to be able to get to the end on those tires. So effectively, Super is leading the race, I would realistically say. As Hyper was closing on Super there pretty quickly. As Jordan and Swanee are battling. I believe Swanee is going for a move on Jordan. Oh no, Jordan was actually going for a move on Swanee there. Yeah, and Jordan just got past. As Racing Maestro is pitting from the mediums onto the hards, I would assume. Oh, and he's also serving a 5-second time penalty before his pit stop. And off he goes. Now it's Racing Maestro versus Swanee on the exit here. Oh, might be slight contact. Racing Maestro gets a little bit loose there. Oh, as up by the front here, we have a pretty intense battle. Flex Marcel on much newer mediums than the two in front of him. As Crashy has left the session. Oh, Flex Marcel with a time penalty. Oh, excuse me, yawning. I've been yawning all day. I have no idea why. Like, I'm not even tired. I just randomly yawn. It's really strange. Alright, and here comes Flex Marcel on Bazooka Joe. Down the inside he goes as Jacob locks up. Bazooka Joe with the attempt at a cutback, but unfortunately it does not work. So Bazooka Joe is in P3 as Jacob locks up again on 15 lap old mediums. Pretty old tires, I would definitely say. As over here, battle for P6, TJ versus Colin. Was Hyper gets a penalty for multiple warnings. Up in P5. So at the moment, the biggest battle I'd definitely say is this one here for the lead. Flex Marcel effectively has the lead here. But will his mediums be able to go an extra 21 laps on top of the 7 already now? It's 28 laps. I think, if my math is correct, if all the calculations are right, 28 laps on the mediums I do not believe is ever going to be possible. Because as you see, Jacob was locking up and sliding on 16 lap old mediums. So 28 lap old mediums I do not believe is feasible. Oh no, it would be 26 lap old mediums, sorry. That's still 10 laps more. Probably an extra 20% tire wear. He would definitely be in the 80s or 90s of percentages, let's say, by that point. So I do not believe that is possible. But we will see. As Jacob and Jordan are fighting. Jacob on the exit of the pits. And Jordan just gets past. As Hyper was just in AI for a brief moment there. But thankfully he's out of it. I thought Hyper had disconnected there for a second. I was kind of worried. But yeah, he's still in it, and Colin is pressurizing him. Hyper on 14 lap old mediums, Colin on 16 lap old hards. So neither of their tires are pretty looking. I'm certain. If you would look at the graining on the tire from all the loads. Flex Marcel fastest lap into the 17s with a 17.997. Hyper staying out on these tires, and now he's really under threat from Colin here. Colin closing up pretty quickly, but Hyper places the car in the middle of the track, blocking, oh not blocking, but making it very difficult for Colin to get past, and did have enough straight line speed to just stay in front, or to not risk a dive bomb from Colin, who I'm certain is going to have to pit as well as Hyper. So this is a battle for position actually, so both these drivers, I would advise them to fight this. The Hyper a little bit wide there, almost knocking out one of the braking meter boards. Thankfully he doesn't though. And now Jordan is catching up on this pack. Or not really pack, but this duo of cars. So now it's a trio. And it seemed to be a, I don't know what the quadrio? I don't know if that's the right word. As Jacob is now closing in as well. And Racing Maestro will be soon too. So let's see what Hyper decides to do on this lap. He is going to stay, he's going to come in. So Colin's going to stay out, so this is going to be a trio once again. So Hyper is coming in onto, I think he started on the softs. So I'm assuming another pair of mediums for 16 laps to the end. As here we go, Jordan on Colin here for P5 with Jacob right there as well. Oh, that's a big slide from Colin there, and a little tap from Jacob just really sent him all the way around. Obviously wasn't intentional, but if you see, yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate incident there. But yeah, big damage to Colin's wing now, so he's going to have to pit. Whether he really likes it or not, he's going to be forced to. And I would definitely go on to the mediums if I was him. Let's see, we have Super Guy, someone who I have not talked about for the last 10 laps or so. He's been putting in those good laps, consistency, just focusing. And he's up in P3 at the moment, chasing down Bazooka Joe for P2, who is on 16-lap-old mediums, who will definitely be pitting at the end of this lap. As Crashy has rejoined the session, thankfully. And Super Guy is past Bazooka Joe. That was a fairly easy move with DRS. Now it's Super Guy's job to chase down Flex Marcel for the lead. Oh, and here we have Swanee and Colin battling for P8. Swanee with the cutback as Colin goes wide at the final turn, and Swanee is passed and has DRS. So Swanee will be the claimer of, or the claimant of that spot. Ooh, but a nasty lock up there in turn 1 for the Ferrari. Alright, so I think not many battles happening at the moment. It's pretty stagnant. As well, we'll get to the penalty for multiple warnings. Just going a little bit too far out wide there at the exit of turn 1. But yeah, not many people too close to each other. Jacob is closing on Jordan though, so let's watch this. As Jacob gets a penalty, just as I say that. Speaking of penalties, I will check the penalties in a couple laps for all the drivers just to see. Super Guy sets the fastest lap with a 17.8, so he's definitely closing in on Flex Marcel, even if it's only by about a tenth a lap or so. Flex Marcel's tires will go off and he will have to pit. So at the moment, in terms of the drivers who aren't making another pit stop, Flex Marcel, Super Guy. Ooh, as Hyper's had an incident there in Sector 3, but he's gone going again. But yeah, at the moment, if we take the gap to the leader, and then subtract 6 off of the gap from Jacob, who is the next driver who's not Super, who will finish the race on the hards, that's a gap of 19 seconds. Effectively, Super Guy is leading the race by 19 seconds at the moment. So that just shows you how quick Super really is. I mean, like you see, like on the mini map there, Super coming around the second to last corner, and then you have Jacob, who we're on board with now, who's still in the second sector. So yeah, it's quite big, but yeah, everyone is putting in good work, doing their hardest, doing their best. Ooh, as we have another spin, and it's Robo. Now he has to defend from Hyper for P10 here, who's closing up on him quickly. Robo cuts to the inside to defend. Obviously a desperate move there, trying to keep that position. But thankfully no contact between the two. As Jordan's in the pits, onto new mediums to go to the end. To go to the end. There we go. As Hyper is really trying to get past Robo here. They're using all of the track to try to get the advantage on each other. Ooh, Hyper almost into the barrier there of the pit lane entry. Thankfully, he avoids it at the last moment. Swanee pits. Hyper thinks about launching it, but doesn't. Oh, excuse me, but doesn't quite yet. Now we have Robo on the hards versus Hyper on the mediums. Plus, Robo had just had that little spin, so his tires were still pretty. I would say they're pretty hot. At least the surface of them were. So not too much grip in them at the moment. But Hyper is staying with them, so he could be on with a really good shot to get past here. But when he will attempt the move, we will find out. Oh, he's so close to him. Oh, a slight tap there. He's all over the back of him at the moment. Just so much more grip out of the corners. Just sending it into the corners so much more confidence with the car. At the moment, Robo sliding, Hyper sliding as well. To be fair to both of them are sliding. Hyper trying to dislodge Geezer out of that P8 position. Ooh, and another tap. It's two taps. They're side by side going into the final corner. Another tap. That's okay. 5. That's 5. I've counted there. 5 contacts. 5 different contact occasions. As you can see that lovely McLaren livery there, battling with the Red Bull livery, which is also quite beautiful. The dark blue, or the purple rather. And Hyper is passed, but Robo might send it here. He tries to. Oh, and he will. Is he successful? No, he's not. Not at the moment. Oh, but there's more contact, and they're still side by side. This is such an incredible battle between these two for P8 here. And oh, Hyper gets sent round by Robo, who turns into the corner. Maybe a little bit too early. Maybe Hyper shouldn't have been there. We don't know yet. It was a pretty bad camera angle for it. But definitely, there was definitely contact, and Hyper was sent into a half spin. Hyper probably pretty upset with that. As Cobalt is currently in P13 and on new mediums. Not really sure what happened to Cobalt, honestly. He's about to get lapped, actually, so I'm not really sure what happened to Cobalt. He's usually really far up there. But unfortunately, it's been an off day for him, it appears, as he's about to get lapped by Super Guy, as he tries to chase down Crashy. Now in the battle for P4 here, Bazooka Joe chasing down Maestro. 2 lap old mediums versus the 8 lap old hards. The same amount of tires and the same tires and same amount of tire wear that Robo and Hyper had, respectively, when they were battling. So, and Bazooka is definitely closing in on Racing Maestro here for that P4. Now the question is, can the hard tires, something I just realized, Super Guy's on 15 lap old hard tires. Will he be able to get to the end there? And if he does, will he have the pace? We'll find out shortly. As Bazooka Joe's trying to send it up the inside of Racing Maestro into turn 1. DRS opened for the Renault. They're still side by side, and Bazooka Joe is passed into P4. So yeah, at the moment, let's actually see what the lap times are. So 18, let's see, maybe in the mid-18s for Super Guy. Mid-17s for Flex Marcel. Now Flex Marcel's tires will go to the end. Super Guy's might. So not only is Flex Marcel like multiple tenths quicker per lap, he's closing on him, and Super Guy's tires are only going to get worse from this point onwards, I believe. So yeah, we will have to see if that gap does come down or not. It's currently sitting at 8.7, 8.6 seconds. We will have to wait and see. Excuse me, just need to drink some water. Oh, also, speaking of water, that brings us into our sponsor. I think we still have a sponsor. Yes, we do. I think I'm supposed to say this. Yes? Bees Knees Tees. Check them out in the Discord, please. It's pretty cool stuff. You get some stuff, you know, some t-shirts, you know. And yeah, just check it out and see if you like it. Anyways, back to our scheduled programming of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Flex Marcel is closing in slightly on Super Guy. Now there's 10 laps to go, including this one. Soon to be 9 laps to go. And the gap is 8.0, 8.1 seconds between the two. Now the mediums will go around 14 laps, probably fall off around 10 laps in. So Flex Marcel has to get close to Super Guy quickly, or else his tires are going to go off the same amount that Super Guy's is at the moment, I would assume. Or will be in a couple laps time. So that's Crashy. This is AI, unfortunately getting lapped by Flex Marcel. As Cobalt is still managing to not get lapped by Super Guy. So Cobalt could finish on the lead lap here if he really pushes. Gap is now down to 7.3 seconds. So yeah, basically this is really the only thing that I really see changing at the moment. I mean, Rebel Geezer can probably go to the end on those 13 lap old hards. Crashy's is in AI, and then everyone else is on similarly lapped mediums. So not much room for change here, except for this first position potentially. And maybe P3 as well, with a Bazooka Joe chasing down Jacob. But we will see. Oh, definitely. Oh, TJ on Racing Master 2. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Super Guy is about to lap Cobalt, it appears. Now Cobalt has to get out of the way pretty quickly, or else he's going to get a penalty. But he's trying desperately to stay in front. Super Guy's probably saying, "Come on, get out of the way." But Cobalt's saying, I want to do all 35 laps here, not 34. So we will see who wins out on this little battle in itself here. As we look back from the ghosted car of Cobalt, we can see that McLaren swerving on the straight a little bit, probably in frustration, wanting that pink BWT Alpha, not Alfa Romeo, Racing Point car, soon to be rebranded as Aston Martin. Getting out of the way, but to no avail at the moment. However, Super Guy will have DRS on Cobalt here, so this might happen right now. Now they are inside of each other, battling. Colin 219 with a penalty. Cobalt still in front of Super Guy. This is probably not the best for Super Guy yet. Probably putting him off a little bit with the car inside of him all the time, but. Yeah, currently 6.5 seconds to Flex Marcel behind. 7 laps to go, including this one. Let's actually see the penalties. One penalty. Super Guy has one penalty. Flex Marcel has 3 penalties. Okay, so Flex Marcel has more work to do than I anticipated. Swanee gets a penalty. Super Guy is now coming up to lap these 2 cars, Swanee and Colin, who are in a battle. Colin gets out of the way very nicely. Good work, Colin. Especially when you're battling, it's really hard to, you know, let off the throttle there and just let the car in front of you go on. But I'd say it's the right thing to do. Uga's Racing Maestro has retired from the session at turn 5, and we have a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. Basically, the only person who can really benefit from this is the AI of Crashy. So it's not going to be too eventful, I don't think. I would have assumed a full safety car. That would really spice things up. But unfortunately not. It's just a virtual one. But yeah, we should get going. We should get underway. Oh, collision there. As Swanee hits the back of Super. And now Swanee's lost 2 positions. Because of that, and he has wing damage too. Hyper with a penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, Swanee couldn't slow down in time for Super Guy, who was slowing down to maybe manage his delta. And yeah, a really unfortunate incident there. So Swanee will definitely be losing time at the moment to the cars in front. Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. As Cobalt is now chasing down Colin here for P9. The gap between Flex Marcel and Super Guy now just 4.5 seconds. Flex Marcel closing in by maybe around half a second per lap. Colin goes wide though. The skies are getting a little bit more gray, I do notice, but there shouldn't be any rain today. Only 5 laps to go right now, and yeah. Oh, so Hyper is actually caught back up to Robo Geezer here, ready for round 2 of this battle. And I don't think Hyper is going to be as kind to Robo as he was last time. So let's see what happens here. As Swanee does pit for the softs, aiming to go for the fastest lap, which I believe any position can claim in Rising Phoenix. Doesn't have to be top 10, I don't believe. I could be wrong though. Gap is down to 4.3 seconds out front. And Hyper is now within half a second of Robo ahead. Oh, and here we go, Hyper on Robo. Side by side into the first corner. This is a great camera angle, actually. And Hyper is passed. At the moment, at least. But Robo dives down the inside again. This time it's Robo who almost spins. And now Robo is going to be probably a little bit upset at that as well as Hyper from the last incident. Robo right on the tail. Oh, cuts the corner massively and completely slams into Hyper. Hyper resets the track. Robo with a damaged front wing. Hyper with no front wing. That is going to be furious. Furiousness from Hyper there. Yeah, Robo just cut the corner and couldn't slow down in time. It was a way too ambitious move, I believe. Unfortunately, I would definitely say. But yeah. Lap 32 of 35, virtual safety car, final one possible. TJ into the pits, Jordan into the pits, going for last lap sprints here. DRS is enabled as the safety car comes in 4 seconds from Flex Marcel the Super Guy. As Hyper is losing a lot of time, unfortunately, with no front wing. And now we have, let's see. Robo's also coming into the pits. as Hyper's getting his wing change, of course. TJ, let's see. Oh yeah, Bazooka Joe is really close to Jacob here. Jacob on 14-lap-old hards versus Bazooka on 10-lap-old mediums. Meanwhile, the gap out front is shrinking, but I don't think it will be enough at the moment for Flex Marcel to overtake Super Guy. But we will see. We will see. Just 2.5 laps to go for the leader at the moment. As Robo is coming out, is going to be ghosted, obviously. Coming out, and then you have Swanee, who just got past Robo as well. So that's a whole nother battle for P11. Let's actually go on board with the Robo here, so we can see all 4 cars. Oh, Robo wide there at turn 5. Swanee a little bit wide at turn 6. Hyper with a penalty for multiple warnings. Hyper currently in P9. So yeah, at the moment it definitely looks like Super Guy will take the victory, at least at the moment, and Hyper will finish in front of Robo in that battle. But who will come in front, or who will come out top here? Who will come out on top here? Ooh, a big tank slapper from Robo there, almost hitting into the side of Swanee. Thankfully catching it though, just in time. As Jacob is a little bit too far away for Bazooka to do anything about it at the moment. Swanee is looking for an overtake on the AI of Crashy, who is double ghosted because he's ghosting through the ghosted cars. But now we have this 4-car battle here. 2 mini battles each. Gap is now down to under 3 seconds in the victory fight. Ooh, Robo and Swanee there. I think there's a little bit of contact. Not too sure though. As Bazooka Joe is really close to Jacob. 22. 12 up old mediums versus 16 lap old hards. The hards will make it. The mediums will be going off at this point though. As Robo overtakes Bazooka Joe and is now getting DRS off of Jacob. As Swanee is falling back unfortunately. But 2 seconds almost off of Robo. A little bit of contact between Jacob and Bazooka. As we're now on to the final lap. Bazooka and Jacob side by side, touching wheels, banging wheels. And oh, Jacob, gets spun. Oh, huge accident. Jacob into the barrier, DNFing out of the race. As Bazooka Joe, I believe, squeezed him a little bit too much there, I would personally say. Causing a massive accident there on the last lap of the race. Really, really unfortunate for Jacob. Really fortunate, though, for Super Guy, who wins the Grand Prix. Flex Marcel, P2. Bazooka Joe will be P3, although a penalty might be applied to him after the race. The stewards will look at that incident. Jordan, P4. TJ, P5. Cobalt, oh, Jacob actually will get P6, though. So he will not lose all the points. He still gets 8 points. Because he was a lap ahead of everyone who was behind him. Meaning he technically completed more distance even though he DNF'd. So Jacob will be P6, Cobalt P7, Colton P8, Robo P9, Hyper getting the final point spot in P10, Swanee P11, Crashy P12, with the DNFers being Maestro P13, Anton P14, Collins P15, and Bunsback P16. Now we're just waiting for TJ to come across the line, and there we go. Good race, everybody. Good race. So that has been the Hungarian Grand Prix. Jacob with driver of the day. Despite that really unfortunate incident. So yeah, Super wins the race. Flex Marcel P2, Bazooka Joe P3, Jordan with the fastest lap of a 16.3. TJ in P5, Jacob P6, Cobalt P7, Colin P8, Geezer, Robo Geezer P9, Hyper P10, Swanee P11, Crashy P12, Maestro P13, Anton P14, Collins P15, Buttons back P16. Let's see all of the pit stops. This is a pretty neat little addition here. You can see all the pit stops that people made, plus all the incidents. We can't get through them all though, obviously, but because not enough time. But yeah, that has been. Excuse me. That has been the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 6 of season 5 of Rising Phoenix F1. Thank you for watching and listening, and until next time, until next time, have a good night, or good day, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. So yeah, thank you, and we will see you soon. So, bye-bye.